It's Friday night in downtown Miami. The city is alive, electric, and inside one of its most exclusive clubs, the energy is off the charts. Neon lights paint the walls, champagne corks are popping, and the music is so loud you can feel it vibrating in your chest. The air is thick with the scent of expensive perfume, and the promise of a night you'll never forget. This is the playground of the rich, the famous, and the beautiful. And then, the doors swing open, and a young man walks in. He's not a celebrity, not a face you'd recognize from magazine covers, but every single head turns his way. He's dressed in a perfectly tailored black suit that looks like it was made just for him. On his wrist, a designer watch glints under the club lights, and in his hand, he's carrying a luxury gift bag. He doesn't just look like he has money, he looks like he is money. He moves with an easy confidence, a quiet power that commands attention without demanding it. He makes his way straight to the bar, navigating the dancing crowd with practiced ease. He orders a drink, something top shelf, and leans against the counter, surveying the room like a king observing his court. And that's when he sees her. Across the room, bathed in a soft red light, is a stunning brunette in a scarlet dress. She's laughing with her friends, a sound that somehow cuts through the booming bass of the music. Her smile is magnetic, and in that instant, he's completely captivated. He can't take his eyes off her. Without a moment's hesitation, he pushes off the bar and starts walking towards her. He's calm, confident, a man on a mission. He approaches her group, his focus entirely on her. He stops, smiles, and says, "Hey, I got this for you." He holds out the luxury gift bag. She looks at him, then at the bag, a mix of confusion and amusement on her face. Her friends fall silent, watching the scene unfold. She takes the bag, her fingers brushing his. Inside, nestled in layers of tissue paper, is a limited edition designer purse. It's exquisite, a piece of art. She looks up at him, her eyes wide with surprise. She laughs, a genuine, beautiful sound. "Wait, are you serious?" He just smiles back, a charming, disarming grin. "Yeah, you just looked like someone who deserves something beautiful." It's a bold move, but it works. The air is charged with a new kind of electricity. But then, as she places the new purse on the table, he notices the bag she was already holding. His eyes widen slightly. It's a Birkin, a rare one. The kind of bag that costs more than most people's cars. We're talking over $40,000. For a split second, his confidence wavers. He just tried to impress a woman who was already leagues ahead. But he doesn't let it show, and to his surprise, she accepts his gift with grace, a genuine smile still on her face. She thanks him, and that's all it takes. The ice is broken. They start talking. The conversation flows as easily as the champagne they're drinking. They talk about everything and nothing. They move to the dance floor, and it's like they're the only two people in the room. He makes her laugh, a deep, uninhibited laugh that makes his heart race. They dance until their feet are sore, until the club lights start to feel like the morning sun. When the music finally fades and the club starts to empty, they walk out together, hand in hand, into the warm Miami night. The connection is instant, intense. The next day, he takes her out on his boat. The day after that, it's a spontaneous drive up the coast in a fast car, the wind in their hair. The week that follows is a whirlwind romance straight out of a movie. Endless texts, late-night calls that last until sunrise, lavish dinners on rooftop terraces overlooking the city skyline. He's falling, and he's falling hard. He's never felt this way about anyone before. He starts to imagine a future with her. But just as quickly as it began, things start to change. It's subtle at first. Her replies to his texts become shorter, more delayed. She's suddenly busy when he asks her out. The late-night calls stop completely. He feels a growing knot of anxiety in his stomach. He tries to tell himself she's just busy, that he's overthinking it. But he knows something is wrong. He can feel her pulling away, creating a distance he can't seem to cross. And then, finally, silence. She ghosts him. No explanation, no goodbye. Just nothing. He's devastated, confused. He replays every moment in his head, trying to figure out what went wrong. He thought they had something real, something special. But the brutal truth begins to dawn on him. She was never in it for him. She was never interested in his heart or his mind. She was in it for his money, for the lifestyle he could provide. The gifts, the cars, the dinners. That's all she ever saw. He was just the provider. And now it seemed she had found a better one. One night, driven by a desperate mix of hope and heartbreak, he tries one last time. It's 2 a.m. He scrolls through his photos and finds a picture he took earlier that day at a dealership. It's a brand new Lamborghini Urus, a stunning, aggressive machine, painted in a vibrant shade of pink. He sends it to her. He types out the message, his fingers trembling slightly. "I bought this for you. It's your early birthday gift. I'll get you something even better on your actual day." He waits, his heart pounding in his chest. A few minutes later, his phone buzzes. Her name flashes on the screen. For a fleeting moment, he feels a surge of hope. But then he reads her reply. It's cold, sharp, and final. "Don't, please. I'm with someone else now." The words hit him like a physical blow. He stares at the screen, the phone feeling heavy in his hand. He can almost picture her typing that message without a second thought, already wrapped in the arms of someone new, someone richer. His jaw tightens. A storm of emotions rages inside him, humiliation, anger, and a profound sense of loss. He types back a single word, "Whatever." He throws his phone across the room, but as he sits there in the darkness, surrounded by the symbols of his wealth, something inside him shifts. The pain doesn't just break him, it forges him. That rejection, that cold, casual dismissal, it doesn't just sting. It ignites a fire, a raging inferno in his soul. In that moment, he makes a vow to himself. He decides, with a chilling clarity, that he will do whatever it takes, climb to whatever height he must, to ensure that he is never, ever ignored again. Weeks later, we're back at the same club, but the atmosphere has completely shifted. Now, everyone knows his name, Malone Lam. Just 20 years old, but already a living legend. He walks in, not alone this time, but surrounded by a sea of models, influencers, and champagne girls, all chanting his name. Malone, Malone, Malone. The energy is electric, and this time he's not just buying one bottle. Oh no. He walks up to the bar manager, and with a cool, almost bored expression says, "I'll take the whole bar." The manager's jaw drops. That night, Malone spends an unbelievable $2.5 million on drinks alone. He's not just buying champagne, he's buying the entire inventory. He tips every single waiter $2,000 just because he can. He hands out diamond bracelets to girls he's never met before. It's a spectacle of excess. This isn't about impressing anyone anymore. He's already done that. Now it feels like he's trying to prove something to himself, to the world, maybe even to that one security guard who once looked down on him. This becomes his new normal. Every night, a different club, a different city. From Miami to Ibiza, from Dubai to Monaco. The script is always the same. Bottles worth hundreds of thousands, private jets on standby, and sprawling beach mansions that look like they're straight out of a movie set. He rents a stunning luxury house right on Miami Beach, the kind with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the ocean. The rent? A cool $60,000 per month. The parties there are the stuff of legend, raging from dusk till sunrise. We're talking champagne showers that drench the entire patio, world-famous DJs flown in for a private set, and after-parties on private yachts that sail off into the morning light. It's a non-stop carnival of wealth. On social media, his life looks like a fantasy. It's a perfectly curated feed of everything money can buy. Custom cars, ridiculously expensive watches, an endless parade of bikini models, and breathtaking ocean views from his balcony. His car collection is insane. He's got a bright pink Lamborghini Urus that you can spot from a mile away, a classic Rolls-Royce for a touch of elegance, and a roaring Ferrari 812 for when he feels the need for speed. And the best part? Each one has a custom license plate that just says, Malone. It's the ultimate power move. But as his fame explodes, so do the questions. A huge, glaring question mark hangs over his entire story. He's only 20 years old. He has no known business, no company, no product. He didn't come from a wealthy family, so there's no inheritance to speak of. So, where is all this money coming from? It's the billion-dollar question that no one can answer. Online, the whispers start turning into a roar. Reddit threads pop up, dedicated to solving the mystery of Malone Lam. Twitter is flooded with posts. Who is this guy? Seriously, how did he get rich overnight? People are dissecting his every post, every move, trying to find a clue. Is he a tech genius? A secret investor? A lottery winner? The theories get wilder and wilder. And amidst all this noise, one particular Twitter user starts paying very close attention. His handle is Zash XBT. If you're in the crypto world, you know that name. He's like a digital detective, a modern-day Sherlock Holmes known for tracking down crypto scams and stolen Bitcoin wallets. This guy has a reputation for exposing some of the biggest hackers and fraudsters in the space. He's the real deal. Zash XBT starts digging, quietly connecting the dots that everyone else is missing. And one day he stumbles upon something strange. A massive cryptocurrency transfer. We're talking over 4,000 Bitcoins, all moved from a single large wallet into several smaller, anonymous ones. At the time of the transfer, that amount was worth over $400 million. And here's the kicker. The transfer happened just before Malone Lam's sudden, explosive rise to fame. The timing was too perfect to be a coincidence. The pieces of the puzzle were starting to fall into place, and the picture they were forming was far more complex and dangerous than anyone could have imagined. Turns out, Malone wasn't working alone. He had two close friends, both young, both completely obsessed with the world of crypto. Imagine this scene. They're at a lavish penthouse party, drinks in hand, looking out over the city lights. One of them, let's call him Alex, leans over and says, "Man, think about it. There are people out there sitting on thousands of Bitcoins, and they probably don't even know how to use them properly. What if we just took some?" At first, the idea sounds absolutely insane. It's the kind of thing you'd see in a movie, not something you actually do. But the thought plants a seed, and in the fertile ground of greed, that seed starts to grow. Suddenly, the insane idea doesn't just sound possible. It sounds like a brilliant plan, a shortcut to everything they've ever wanted. So, their mission begins. They start scouring the internet, diving deep into old investor forums and forgotten social media groups. They're not looking for just anyone. They're searching for a specific type of target, wealthy, older investors. The kind of guys who bought into Bitcoin years ago when it was cheap, amassed a fortune, but never really kept up with the technology. Digital dinosaurs sitting on a digital treasure chest, and then they find him. The perfect mark. An elderly man who had the foresight to buy Bitcoin years ago, but then just forgot about it. He never touched it, never traded it, just let it sit there. The boys dig deeper and discover he holds a staggering 4,000 Bitcoins. But here's the crucial part. He barely ever checks his digital wallet. It was like finding a map to a buried treasure that the owner had lost. With their target identified, the boys meticulously craft a plan. It's a classic social engineering scheme, updated for the crypto age. Step 1, get his phone number. They find it on an old public post from an online investor forum he'd used years ago. Simple, but effective. Then, the first call is made. They dial his number, their hearts probably pounding in their chests. One of them puts on his most professional, reassuring voice. "Good morning, sir. My name is David, and I'm calling from the Bitcoin security team. We've noticed some unusual and potentially suspicious activity on your wallet. and we wanted to reach out to ensure your assets are secure." The old man, who hasn't thought about his Bitcoin in ages, is understandably confused. But the word security triggers a sense of alarm. He's concerned, but he's also trusting. He thanks the security expert for the warning. The hook is set. A few days go by. The boys let the fear and uncertainty simmer. Then comes the second call. This time, they pose as representatives from his cryptocurrency exchange. "Hello, sir. This is a follow-up regarding the security alert on your account. We've detected a potential breach in the network. To protect your funds, we need to run a diagnostic on your system remotely. It will only take a few moments." The old man is now convinced there's a real threat. He's not tech-savvy. All this talk of breaches and remote systems is overwhelming. He just wants the problem to go away. So, when they guide him to download a screen-sharing tool, something common like AnyDesk, he complies. He trusts these helpful young men on the phone. "Okay, sir. Now just read me the access code on your screen," they instruct. He does. "Perfect. Now you'll see a pop-up asking to allow access. Just click that for me." The moment his mouse clicks allow, it's over. That single click is the key that unlocks his entire digital life. As he watches his cursor move on its own, thinking a technician is running a scan, the boys are silently installing sophisticated malware in the background. It's a digital Trojan horse. Within minutes, the malware has located his private keys and initiated a transfer. His entire Bitcoin wallet is drained. All 4,000 Bitcoins gone. Transferred out of his control forever, straight into a series of wallets controlled by Malone and his friends. Back at their apartment, the three of them are glued to their screens. They're watching the blockchain confirmation. And then, it happens. They refresh their own wallets and the number pops up. It's real. The balance isn't just a dream. It reads 4,000 BTC. At that moment, with Bitcoin's soaring price, that number was equivalent to $400 million. The room erupts. They scream. They laugh. They jump around like they've just won the World Cup and the lottery at the same time. The sheer disbelief and euphoria are overwhelming. They feel invincible, like they've cracked the code to life itself. And in that moment of pure, unadulterated hubris, one of them grabs a phone and starts recording everything. The screaming, the laughing, the celebration of their grand heist. They think they're documenting their victory, but what they're actually creating is a permanent record of their downfall. That video, that monument to their greed, would soon become their single biggest mistake. The party lights that once defined Malone Lam's nights slowly started to fade. For months, he had lived like a rock star, flying across cities, hosting private events, and showering people with gifts. His name had become a symbol of luxury, mystery, and excess. But as they say, the higher you fly, the harder you fall. It all began quietly. Crypto investigators and online communities started asking questions. Who is this 20-year-old suddenly living like a billionaire? Where did his fortune even come from? And among those asking was a digital investigator known on Twitter as Zash XBT, famous for tracking suspicious crypto movements. He wasn't a cop. He wasn't a hacker. He was just someone who had once lost money to a scam and had made it his mission to protect others from the same fate. One evening, while monitoring large blockchain transfers, Zash noticed something unusual. A transaction involving thousands of Bitcoins was moving across multiple anonymous wallets. The sheer scale and speed of it just didn't add up. So Zash began connecting the digital dots, wallet by wallet, link by link, until he stumbled upon social media posts showing a new young millionaire living an impossibly lavish lifestyle. The timing matched perfectly. The extravagant spending matched perfectly. Could this be the same money trail? Zash began his work, collecting every clue he could find. Screenshots of exotic cars, property documents, crypto wallet screenshots that had been leaked online, and spending patterns that defied logic. He didn't accuse anyone directly. Instead, he quietly passed his findings to cybersecurity organizations and financial authorities. And from there, a slow, careful investigation began. Teams of analysts started the painstaking work of piecing together transactions, tracking the digital footprints hidden behind the luxury. Meanwhile, Malone had no idea what was unfolding in the shadows. He was still living his dream life, surrounded by luxury homes in Miami, designer fashion, international travel, and brand collaborations. But behind all the glamour, the foundation of his perfect world was starting to crack. The people around him noticed the change first. His closest friends started to keep their distance. Some of his social media followers began posting comments like, "Something about this feels off," and "Nobody becomes this rich overnight." The brands he worked with started to pause collaborations. The nightclubs where he used to get guaranteed VIP access began denying him entry. He was still wealthy, but he was slowly becoming radioactive in the very world that once adored him. Then one day, his account stopped working. Bank transactions were frozen. A flood of emails from legal firms began arriving. The same internet that had made him famous was now the very reason he couldn't sleep at night. Within months, the truth began to unfold publicly. Articles, tweets, and forum posts started publishing reports about massive digital thefts connected to anonymous wallets. Authorities confirmed that a portion of that stolen cryptocurrency was found to be linked to a series of high-value purchases. While no one knew the full story yet, the message was clear. Luxury earned the wrong way never lasts. Malone's social media disappeared overnight. All his posts were deleted. His comments were turned off. His once viral name was now trending for all the wrong reasons. People who had once partied with him began sharing their experiences. He seemed so young, but everything felt too good to be true. Another said, he would spend like money had no value. And that was the sad truth. Money had replaced meaning. Months later, a podcast host reflecting on the case said something that went viral. He had everything: youth, fame, opportunity. But when you chase shortcuts, you end up cutting your own future short. That line resonated with so many people because it wasn't just about Malone Lam. It was about an entire generation chasing instant wealth. The crypto world is filled with stories like this. People who see fast money and quick success, forgetting that behind every coin, every wallet, and every transaction, there are real people, real risks, and real consequences. Malone's story isn't about a criminal mastermind. It's about a choice. The moment when greed wins over patience. He became an example of what happens when luxury blinds you to logic. Today, his name exists only in old articles and digital archives. But the lesson he left behind continues to echo across the internet. Money can buy you moments, not meaning. And luxury fades, but your digital footprint stays forever. So if you're someone exploring crypto, business, or investment, remember this: there's no shortcut that ends well. Earn smart, spend slow, and always stay transparent. Because in the digital age, the internet always keeps receipts. Now it's your turn. If you had earned $400 million legally, what would you do first? Would you build something, help someone, or travel the world? Drop your answer in the comments, and the best one gets a heart from me. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay smart, and always remember, fast money burns even faster. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this.